Quick gut check. What do breakouts, hair thinning, low energy, and feeling older than you are share? One fixable culprit almost no one mentions: chronic constipation. In minutes, I'll show why a slow gut quietly wrecks your skin, mood, and focus, and the simple switches to wake it up. No powders, no harsh laxatives. Stay with me. By the end, you'll know one morning habit, a 60-second belly reset, and the brain-to-gut switch most people ignore. If you care about results, don't blink. Let's talk about something a lot of people deal with but don't really talk about: chronic constipation. And I mean really talk about it, because this is so much more serious than just feeling a bit uncomfortable now and then. In this explainer, we are going to dive deep into a complete osteopath's guide to finally understand what's really going on and how to find a solution that actually lasts. So let's just start with a little bit of a puzzle. What on earth could something like hair loss have in common with varicose veins or even aging faster than you should? They seem like they're from completely different worlds, right? Well, the surprising answer, and it really is surprising, is that all of these things can actually be traced back to one single underlying problem: chronic constipation. And believe me, this goes way beyond just feeling bloated. It's a problem that can send shockwaves through your entire body. So let's really pull back the curtain and look at the unseen toll this is taking. It's time we stop thinking about constipation as just some minor annoyance and start seeing it for what it is: a real threat to your long-term health. I mean, just look at this list. The consequences are staggering. We're talking chronic inflammation deep inside your gut that then bubbles up to the surface, showing up on your skin as things like acne or allergies. It can lead to a dull complexion, cause your hair to fall out, and make your nails brittle. And it doesn't stop there. It creates the perfect conditions for hemorrhoids and varicose veins to develop, and it's even considered a contributing factor to colon cancer. Seriously, the stakes here are incredibly high. Okay, before we dive into the solutions, just a quick but really important disclaimer. Everything we're talking about here is for informational purposes. For any personal health issues or before you make any big changes to your diet or routine, please talk to a qualified healthcare professional first. All right, let's get into our first action step. It's all about figuring out what's working against you and getting it out of the picture. So let's look at the foods that can literally physically slow you down. The number one enemy here: white flour. I want you to picture the inside of a soft piece of white bread. It's kind of sticky, almost gluey, right? That's the gluten. Well, that same sticky quality can literally gum up the works inside your intestines. Yeast-based breads can also be a problem for a lot of people. Then over on the other side, we have foods to just be mindful of. Rice, for example, is well known to slow down peristalsis. That's just the fancy word for the muscle contractions that push food along. And look, meat is a great source of nutrients, but huge amounts of it are really heavy on the digestive system, so it's best to moderate it if you're struggling. So we've gotten rid of the roadblocks. Awesome. Now let's talk about adding the right kind of fuel to get the system running smoothly. This part is all about what you need to bring into your diet to get things moving. This quote just nails the most important piece of the puzzle: water. If your body is dehydrated, it basically panics. It acts like a desperate customs officer trying to squeeze every single last drop of moisture out of the food moving through your intestines. And what are you left with? Hard, dry stool that is just incredibly difficult to pass. So it's not just about drinking water. It's about how you drink it. This morning ritual is a total game changer. As soon as you wake up on an empty stomach, sip at least half a liter of hot water. Why hot? Well, hot water actually helps all the little sphincters in your digestive tract to relax. It encourages bile to flow, and it gently wakes up your entire system for the day. Plus, since it's already warm, your body doesn't have to waste any energy heating it up. Okay, beyond water, you want to focus on these guys. First up, fiber. But, and this is key, fiber from vegetables, especially leafy greens. Second, good quality, unrefined vegetable oils. These actually help trigger the release of bile, which is one of your body's own natural laxatives. And finally, think about adding in some soaked dried fruits like prunes and soaked nuts and seeds. Soaking them makes a huge difference, making them way easier for your body to digest. Now, it is so easy to reach for what seems like a quick fix, but honestly, some of the most common solutions for constipation can actually make the whole situation so much worse in the long run. Let's talk about a few of these hidden risks. You've probably seen those big tubs of powdered fiber at the pharmacy and thought, hey, that's an easy shortcut. But you have to be careful. That processed powdered fiber is just not the same as the natural stuff you get from vegetables. A lot of the time, it does basically nothing to stimulate those intestinal muscles and honestly, can sometimes be completely useless. You've got to stick to the real thing. And this is a big one. Senna. It's a really powerful herbal stimulant you'll find in a ton of over-the-counter laxatives. And yeah, it'll give you short-term relief, but it's a trap. If you use it too often, your intestine can become dependent on it. It literally forgets how to work on its own. This just creates a vicious cycle that can lead to even more severe, stubborn constipation down the line. We've covered diet, but what if you feel like you need a more direct approach? Well, let's get physical. We're talking about a hands-on gut reset that you can do yourself to get things moving from the outside in. This technique is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Just lie down somewhere comfortable, use a little bit of oil so your hands can glide smoothly, then place one hand on top of the other to get some good gentle pressure, and start making circles around your belly button, always in a clockwise direction. Why clockwise? Because that's the natural path your large intestine takes. Start with little circles and just gradually spiral outwards until you're covering your whole abdomen. And once you get comfortable with that, you can try a few variations. You can use your knuckles instead of your palms to create a bit more heat and deeper stimulation. You can also pay attention to any spots that feel a little firm or tender. That's often in the lower right or lower left corner where things tend to get stuck. And finally, you can try a gentle lifting motion, starting from your pelvic bone and pulling the tissue up towards your navel. This can help with what's called organ prolapse and just provides a different kind of stimulation. Okay, so we've covered diet and physical techniques, but what happens if the problem goes even deeper than that? In the world of osteopathy, the search for the real root cause often leads us to the nervous system itself, which brings us to this really fascinating question. What if the main problem isn't actually what you're eating, but a communication breakdown that starts all the way up in your head? Okay, meet the star of the show, the vagus nerve. The easiest way to think about it is like the main data cable connecting your brain to your gut. It literally comes out of an opening at the base of your skull, and its job is to send the signals that tell your intestines to contract and move things along. It's the master controller of your digestion. So here's the osteopathic connection that is just so cool. If the bones at the base of your skull get a little misaligned, or if there's a lot of tension there, it can physically pinch that nerve, and that interference is kind of like someone turning down the volume on the signals being sent to your gut. Your intestines just aren't getting that clear, loud command they need to do their job properly. And this connection is incredibly direct. The osteopath who is the source for this says that when they're working on a patient, gently releasing that tension at the base of the skull, they can literally hear the person's gut start to gurgle and rumble right there on the treatment table. That sound, that's the sound of the vagus nerve being freed up. The signal gets restored, and the digestive system instantly wakes up. It's such a powerful example of that brain-gut connection. Okay, let's bring this all home and put it together in a simple 4-part action plan. Number 1, subtract. Take out the foods that are slowing you down. Number 2, add. Bring in the things that create a healthy flow, like hot water, veggies, and good oils. Number 3, stimulate. Get hands-on with that daily massage. And number 4, move. Regular physical activity is a signal for your whole body, including all your internal organs, to wake up and get working. So you now have a complete toolkit. The key isn't to try and do everything all at once. It's just to start. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. What is the one small change you're willing to make today that will set you up for a healthier, happier gut tomorrow? All right, that's it for today. Remember, your health starts from the inside. If this video gave you even one new idea, hit that like button. It really helps more people find this info. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video. We've got even more practical tips coming your way. And now, I want to hear from you. What's one healthy habit you're ready to start today? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'll be reading them all. Take care of yourself and see you in the next one.